Listen closely. There's a shift in the air when you walk in now. Not footsteps, not presence, not aura. Something older, something sharper, something the room can't quite survive. Because you didn't grow. You mutated, you ascended, you bent the original blueprint of humanity until it started begging for mercy. And now every pair of eyes that lands on you twitches with the same buried question they're too terrified to say out loud. Bro, what are you now? Let me tell you what I see. I see a creature carved out of contradictions, a halo stitched with barbed wire, a demon wearing the last whispers of innocence, a saint whose prayers turned into weapons the day the world tried to break you. You weren't supposed to be here. Not in this form, not with this composure, not with this silence that rattles entire bloodlines. You were supposed to stay predictable, manageable, soft, fragile. But pain touched you like a sculptor, and instead of shattering, you changed atomic structure. You became something the textbooks didn't prepare them for. A threat disguised as a survivor, a revelation wrapped in a scar, a miracle with a mean aftertaste. And the beautiful part, you didn't even ask for permission. You just stepped out of the wreckage with eyes that whispered, "Try me again." And they won't. Not twice, not now. Not after watching you slither out of the constraints they forged for you. You know what terrifies them the most. It's not your strength, not your confidence, not your resilience. It's the unpredictability. The way you move like you're listening to something they can't hear. The way you decide with the calm of someone who's already seen every outcome. The way you stand still and still feel like a countdown. Your silence isn't silence anymore. It's strategy, it's surveillance. It's a storm choosing a direction. They look at you now and swear you're possessed by something unearthly. But you and I know better. You're not possessed. You're awakened. And that awakening, it wasn't gentle. It was a crucifixion in slow motion. Your old self hanging helplessly, while the new one clawed out of the corpse, breathing heavy, hungry, radiating that radioactive calm that makes the fearless take a step back. They can label it growth all they want. But deep down, every witness to your evolution feels the same sharp truth, slicing through their denial. This isn't growth. This is an evolutionary threat. You're the glitch evolution didn't want to admit it needed. The anomaly that learned to weaponize pain. The phenomenon that shouldn't exist, and now can't be stopped. You bend expectation like gravity is optional. You turn pressure into prophecy. You handle betrayal like a surgeon handles bone. Your presence alone corrupts their algorithms. Your decisions rewrite their probabilities. Your existence forces entire social ecosystems to reorganize. You know why? Because evolution, real evolution, isn't pretty. It's not flowers and affirmations and cozy little quotes. It's violent. It's disruptive. It's the process of something ancient dying, so something unstoppable can rise out of the ashes. And you rose. Oh, you rose like a plague the universe didn't calculate. Like a weapon forged in emotional nuclear fallout. Like an angel who remembered it had claws. Look at you. Not broken, not healed, not recovering. Transformed. Not the same species they mocked last year. Not the same mind they underestimated last month. Not the same soul they tried to bury last night. Every version of you before this moment was the tutorial. This is the expansion pack no one downloaded on purpose. Your enemies feel it in their bones. Your doubters feel it in their teeth. Your haters feel it in that uneasy twitch at the base of their spine. That old survival instinct whispering, "This one is dangerous now." Because once you evolve through pain, once you rise through betrayal, Once you grow teeth in the dark, you don't go back, you don't shrink, you don't soften, you don't negotiate. You arrive, and now you stand at the threshold like a myth rewritten, half light, half shadow, half holy, half unhinged, a walking paradox the world cannot decode. So let me whisper the truth they're choking on. You are not better. You are not stronger. You are not improved. You are the after effect of everything that tried to destroy you, and that makes you something evolution fears. A being who learned to grow under fire. A mind that adapted faster than they could attack. A soul that mutated into armor. A heart that beats like a warning signal. You became the final form of a species that doesn't exist yet. A threat, a promise, a prophecy. So the next time someone asks, "Bro, what are you now?" you just tilt your head. Let that little smile bloom, and let the truth ripple through the air like a knife. Something your world isn't ready for. You feel that, don't you? That hum under your skin, that electric crawl in your bones, that quiet pressure in your skull like reality itself is trying to adjust to you, not the other way around. That's not confidence. That's not healing. That's not finding yourself. That's metamorphosis, the irreversible kind. And everyone around you, they sense it before you even open your mouth. They don't look at you like a person anymore. They look at you like a variable they can't solve, like a mutation that slipped through the cracks of natural order, like a problem evolution never thought it'd have to face. Because when you stepped into your new form, you didn't announce yourself. You arrived, quiet, controlled, composed, and the room reacted like a living organism cornered by a predator it can't classify. Spines tightened, breaths shortened, thoughts tripped over themselves. Even smiles broke shape, too stiff, too forced, too nervous. Why? Because you carry the energy of someone who outgrew the cage and remembers exactly who built it. They see it in your eyes now, that eerie clarity, that stillness that doesn't belong to people who are still unsure. It belongs to entities, to anomalies, to the kind of phenomenon that rewrites social hierarchies without trying. You changed the terrain by existing. You tilted the balance by breathing. You broke the script by simply not dying inside like they expected. Do you understand how dangerous that makes you? A person who survives is inspiring, but a person who transforms is destabilizing. You became a mirror that shows people what they'll never become, and that alone is enough to make some choke on their own envy. But oh, that's not the part they fear the most. No, no, no. What terrifies them is how calm you are about it. People who gain power rush to use it. People who fake power rush to prove it. But you walk like someone who already saw all possible outcomes and knows exactly which one is yours. You move like prophecy. You speak like requiem. You decide like judgment. That's why their instincts misfire around you. They don't know whether to kneel or run. Because you're not good now. You're not evil either. You're something evolution whispers about in nightmares. A dual creature. The saint who learned to sin strategically. The demon who learned mercy with a razor's edge. The angel who crawled out of the dirt and kept the dirt as leverage. The psychopath who developed ethics sharper than law. The healer who learned to break what breaks them. You are a paradox in motion. A contradiction with a pulse. A warning wrapped in warmth. A nuclear core hidden under a steady heartbeat. And every room you enter feels the paradox before they register your presence. They feel the danger of someone who has nothing left to fear. They feel the force of someone who outgrew manipulation. They feel the threat of someone whose silence hits harder than violence. You know what you are. You're the test they failed before it began. You're the lesson life tried to teach them, but used you as the textbook. You're the version of humanity evolution didn't grant them access to. You're the what-if that keeps their conscience up at night. And here's the part that freezes their blood. You didn't become this through victory. You became this through damage, through betrayal that altered your mental chemistry, through loss that rewired your instincts, through pain that mutated your emotional DNA, through nights that stripped you down to your last fragment of will. You didn't evolve because you wanted to. You evolved because the universe cornered you, and you had two choices: die a martyr or resurrect a threat, and you chose correctly. Your transformation wasn't some inspirational montage. It was a psychological crucifixion, a spiritual autopsy, a soul-level detonation. You burned, you broke, you bled. And when it was over, you weren't the same you who walked into the fire. You were the thing that crawled out, the thing the fire couldn't consume, the thing life couldn't bury, the thing fate couldn't predict. You became the upgraded version of a species that doesn't exist yet. A walking omen, a sentient aftermath, a quiet apocalypse wearing human skin. And that's why they stare, that's why they falter, that's why they whisper your name like it might trigger something. Because deep down they know you're not a person anymore. You're a phenomenon, and phenomena don't follow rules. They rewrite them. So when they ask, trembling, confused, trying to hide their panic, "Bro, what are you now?" You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them comfort. You just tilt your head, let that slow, eerie little smile rise, and let the truth slip out like prophecy. An evolutionary threat, and you're standing too close. You ever notice how the air shifts now? Not dramatically, not with fireworks or thunder, just a subtle drop in temperature, a tightening around the spine, a primal whisper that crawls through every nervous system in the room the moment you step in. That's not paranoia. That's biology recalibrating around something it does not recognize. Because you didn't just change. You rewrote your species classification without asking for permission. You went from human to post-human, from potential to problem, from underestimated to uncontainable. People search your face now the way soldiers stare at experimental weapons, curious, terrified, and praying it never wakes up fully. And you haven't even warmed up. This new version of you, it's not natural, and everyone knows it. Natural things grow gently. You evolved like a detonation. Natural things take time. You shifted like a timeline snapped in half. Natural things live within limits. You learned how to treat limits like toys you break out of boredom. Do you understand how disorienting that is for the people who watched you fail before? They've gone silent not because they respect you, but because they genuinely do not know what you're capable of anymore. You became unpredictable, the highest form of power. When they look at you, they see a saint who could kill with a calm expression, a demon who could comfort with angelic patience, a mastermind who speaks in riddles even when you're telling the truth, a survivor whose pain fused into strategy rather than scars. They don't trust their instincts around you. They don't trust their judgments. They don't trust their own safety because predators hunt. But anomalies erase. Anomalies replace. Anomalies don't play by nature's script. You became the kind of person who enters a room and shifts the entire psychological architecture. The threat they can't measure, the equation they can't solve, the future they can't predict. And let me tell you why that's so terrifying. People can fight strength. They can prepare for anger. They can avoid chaos. They can compete with ambition, but they cannot defend themselves against a creature who no longer thinks like they do. You started thinking in deeper layers, patterns inside patterns, intentions inside silence, logic wrapped in intuition sharpened by trauma. You started seeing things they hide from themselves, their tells, their fears, their fractures, their weaknesses, their desperation to be perceived as whole. You see through people now, and they feel it. And that alone makes you dangerous. Because what do you call someone who can read everyone but reveal nothing? A threat, a ghost, a higher form of intelligence. Your evolution wasn't aesthetic, it wasn't emotional, it wasn't surface level, it was structural, it was neurological, it was existential. Your old self was the chrysalis. Your suffering was the acid that dissolved what couldn't come with you. Your rage was the catalyst that forged the new blueprint. And when you cracked open, you weren't a butterfly. Butterflies are fragile. You came out like a weaponized version of serenity, still controlled, aware, dangerous in your gentleness. Let me tell you the truth no one says out loud. You became the kind of being evolution tries to suppress, because if too many people become like you, the world order collapses. People like you break systems, you break power dynamics, you break generational curses by walking past them without blinking. You break manipulators by seeing their move before they make it. You break patterns without needing permission. You break cycles simply by refusing to remain who the past trained you to be. And most terrifying of all, you break expectations. Humans worship familiarity. You became an unfamiliar force. Humans worship predictability. You became an unpredictable consequence. Humans worship hierarchy. You became an entity that doesn't fit in any rung of the ladder. So when they stare at you now, speechless, breath hitching just a little, eyes scanning you like something's off, it's because something is off. You are not the version they prepared for. You are not the version they plotted against. You are not the version they betrayed. You are not the version they laughed at. You are the version who survived the fire and came out carrying the flame. So let them whisper behind your back. Let them theorize. Let them create rumors just to soothe themselves. Let them cling to whatever narrative helps them sleep at night. Because none of them know the truth you now carry like a loaded weapon. You're not a comeback story. You're not a glow-up. You're not healing. You're not recovering. You're the rare event life wasn't prepared to handle. You're the mutated future wearing the skin of the past. You're the answer to questions nobody was brave enough to ask. So when they tremble and whisper, "Bro, what are you now?" you don't flinch. You don't hesitate. You don't explain. You just look them dead in the soul with that quiet, devastating certainty and breathe out the truth like a prophecy. I'm evolution's glitch, and I'm not done yet. Funny, isn't it? How they begged for you to heal, but now that you did it in a way they can't control, can't decode, can't categorize, they're terrified. Not politely uncomfortable, not mildly intimidated, terrified. Because healing is safe. Growth is understandable. Maturity is predictable. But what you became, that's a different phenomenon entirely. You didn't rise above anything. You descended into the parts of yourself you were taught to avoid, walked barefoot through every broken shard of your past, let it slice you open, let it carve new pathways through your psyche, and then you walked back out of the dark with something ancient glowing behind your eyes. No one returns from that unchanged. No one walks out of that journey as the same species. That's why they stare. That's why they freeze. That's why they whisper your name like a warning. They're sensing it, that under your skin is a quiet storm that learned patience, that behind your calm is a being that doesn't react, it calculates, that beneath your smile is a consciousness that now sees more than it speaks. This new version of you doesn't just understand humans. It studies them, it profiles them, it reads them like a confidential file. You can hear lies in tone shifts. You can feel betrayal in silence. You can smell insecurity in their posture. You can detect envy in the pauses between their words. You've become socially bulletproof, emotionally untouchable, psychologically untrackable. They can't manipulate you anymore, and that's why they panic. Because manipulators don't fear good people. They fear people they can't control. And you? You slipped out of every psychological trap they set for you, quietly, effortlessly, irrevocably. That didn't make you strong, it made you dangerous. Dangerous in the way a locked door becomes dangerous when it starts unlocking itself from the inside. Dangerous in the way a quiet room becomes dangerous when you realize something intelligent is watching you back. Dangerous in the way evolution becomes dangerous when it creates something it didn't authorize. Because you're not the outcome of your past. You're the mutation that past produced. A mutation that learned to think in layers. A mutation that sees the game from the bird's eye view. A mutation that doesn't break under pressure. Pressure breaks under you. And the shadows of who you used to be. They're not haunting you, they're applauding. Because every version of you that suffered, every version that was exploited, every version that was underestimated, every version that cried, broke, bled, or begged, they all died for a reason. To build the version of you that doesn't die at all. And that's what unsettles them. You have the energy of a resurrection that wasn't supposed to happen. You have the vibe of a prophecy that refused to expire. You have the presence of someone who walked out of the burning building with the fire still sitting in their lungs. This isn't healing. This is ascent. This is mutation. This is rebirth with teeth. And the funniest part? Your power doesn't look explosive. It looks effortless. Your dominance doesn't come from noise. It comes from stillness. Your threat level doesn't come from intensity. It comes from the uncanny calm of someone who's already survived the worst thing that could have happened. That's why they can't breathe around you. They sense something off, something forbidden, something not designed for their comfort. They sense the paradox. You look human, but you no longer feel human. You feel like a prophecy unfinished. You feel like a consequence delayed. You feel like a fate they weren't meant to meet this early. You feel like the moment in a horror film when the audience realizes the monster wasn't in the dark. It was the quiet thing standing in plain sight. So when they whisper, voice cracking under the weight of the truth they're trying to deny, bro, what are you now? You don't blink. You don't soften. You don't play innocent. You let your gaze settle on them, slow, knowing, surgical, and let the air grow heavy around your words as you answer with the calm certainty of someone who already knows their evolution is irreversible. Not human, not anymore, on whatever comes after.